this is the fifth project in the Competent Speakers Manual, which is titled Your Body Speaks. She is to use stance, body movement, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact that illustrate and enhance her verbal message. Movement, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact should be smooth and natural. Body language should enhance and clarify the speaker's words and help the audience visualize the speaker's points and overall message. The message should be the same one you hear. The speech must have a clear purpose and appropriate organization. Also, she should use words and arrangements of words that effectively communicate her message to the audience.
Thank you, Jeff. Jackie's speech is titled, How I Found Him Again. Do you remember the day you found God? Or maybe it was when you stopped believing or turned your back on Him. Jackie will share her experience of how she found God, dumped Him, and then reconnected. Jackie?
I went to an all-girl private Catholic school. Stop imagining what it was like. It was like everything you saw in the movies and worse. I also went to a Christian school before that. Needless to say, church on Sundays, I knew God, I knew the Bible. I was pretty confident in all of that. Until my sophomore year in high school, in religion class, which was taught by a nun, of course. I was writing a letter to my boyfriend, because who pays attention in religion class? And I heard the teacher say, all of you know that the Bible's not real, right? I immediately looked up. And as I looked around the classroom, everyone is nodding their head. But me. I'm scratching my head. What did she just say? So I raised my hand. What did you just say? She repeats herself and looks at me as though I'm dumb for thinking that the Bible is real. I was absolutely clueless as to why she was saying all this, and she didn't make any sense. So after school, baffled and want to know more knowledge, I go to the person that has the most wisdom in my world. My grandmother, of course. My Italian Catholic grandma. She knows everything. I go to her, and of course she supports the nun. She has to. So she's running around in circles trying to explain to me what the nun possibly meant by saying this. It didn't make any sense to me. So she says, fine, after church on Sunday, go talk to Father John. Father John will tell you everything you need to know. Okay, I talked to Father John on Sunday. He supports the nun too, of course. They have to support the nun. So he was running around in circles, and it doesn't make any sense. So that day, after church on Sunday, I chose to walk away from God because no one was making any sense to me, and the nun told me that the Bible wasn't real. So in my mind, the nun is like here, and God's here. So if she's telling me that the Bible's not real, what am I supposed to believe? So I'm just going to do my own thing and not believe any of this craziness. So I did that for a few years, and I managed just fine. Bumps along the road, roller coasters, just like it was when I did believe in God. And then my senior year came. Best year ever. And the best day ever of your senior year is the day of prom. What could be better than a half day of school, the end of the quarter, turning in your projects, and then you get to celebrate by pretending to be an adult for the night? In high school, that sounded like a good idea. Now that I'm over 30, that is not cool at all. So I go into school that day. I sign up for the table that I'm going to sit at for prom. I'm so excited. The limo's reserved, the dress, the guy, all of it. I go to my first class, accounting, which is my favorite. I had a huge project to turn in, 600 points. If you didn't turn that project in, you didn't pass the class. There was no way. And if you didn't pass the class, then you didn't graduate. I go and I sit in my desk. I open my book bag to grab my project, and my book is missing. It's gone. Where's my book? My project's in my book, of course, because I'm not that organized. And I can't find it. So I go to my car. It's not in my car. I call my grandma. Can you look in my room? It's not in my room. I go to the principal, the lost and found, the gym teacher. You name it, I reached out to everyone. I couldn't find my book anywhere. As I sat in the bathroom, sobbing because I couldn't find my project, I only had one person to turn to. And that was the person that I chose not to believe in. So I said, okay, look. I said, I don't believe in you, but I have nobody else to turn to. So if you can bring my project and save the day, I promise you, I will never turn my back on you, and I will make sure that one day doesn't go by without telling someone new about my testimony and the grace of God that you are. I promise. Just please bring my book. Save my day. So the rest of the day continues, no book. Still miserable, yelling at everyone, thinking someone stole my book. At the end of the day, the counselor calls me down to her office, and they tell me, I'm sorry, Jackie, you're not going to be able to go to prom today. You didn't turn in your project. You're going to fail accounting. You won't be able to graduate. Mind you, I graduated class of 2000. This was like the biggest year ever to graduate. And now I'm not going to graduate in the year 2000 because of accounting, some project that I had done weeks before this, but they wouldn't let me turn it in. This can't be true. My heart is pounding. I'm having anxiety, crying. They said, you might as well go home now. You're not even going to be paying attention to your classes. So distraught, I'm walking out of the class. I'm walking to the door to leave school. I open the door. Literally, as I open the door, the counselor is running down the hallway with an accounting book in hand. She says, is this your book? And I grab it, and I open it, and the book just opens to my project. Literally like a, oh! And tears are now rushing down my face even more so because I'm happy that I have the project. I can turn it in. I can go to prom. I can graduate. All in a second. It went from the best day ever to the worst day ever. Now back to the best day ever. That was only like 6 hours. Talk about a roller coaster. So at that moment, I knew it had to be God. Now I later found out that I left my book in the classroom where I signed up to sit at the table for prom. It wasn't a normal class that I took, it was biology. That was not my thing. So I never thought to look there because it was really early in the morning. I started to question, well, if I wouldn't have prayed to God, then wouldn't I have still found the book eventually? Well, yeah, I might have, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten it until Monday, and then I wouldn't have went to prom at all. And I would have missed out on that entire experience. So maybe God told the counselor, check in the biology room, or maybe God told the nun, hey, don't forget to give this book to the office. Who knows? I don't care. I made a deal and I'm holding to it. So I found him again, and there's been bumps along the road and I've been tested, but because of that moment, I'm always able to get through all of the rest of it.